Well, I left off with the gaze crankshaft and backwards, and so I ended up saying that the silicone was no good, or it's me, or all the above. So I ended up going and getting some other actually went to the steel dealer and asked them for some silicone, and they told me to go next door to the car replace next door to them, and get some silicone from them. So just looking for the scissors. I got the heat going in here because I'm a wimp. Not really, but I just was doing pretty good today. I got a little couple knots in my back because I was kind of tensed up driving around town because we got high winds today and whiteouts and all that. And it's moved off towards Ontario's. They got it next. Lucky them. And then he was coming down the hill because we just got a bunch of rain last night till like 1 p.m. in the morning, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and I went, oh no, here it comes. And sure as shoot, woke up with about this much snow, and no big deal because it snows. This time of year it snows, and I'm still looking for the scissors. I don't know where I don't know. I used them here, I thought. So anyways, and then I come down the hill, my son plowed, and then he kind of stopped in one area, and I went, wonder why he stopped. That's the plow boy. And then guess what? And then I proceeded to step my leg on that spot that was slippery, and then you know what happened. Yep. So now I kind of hit this leg, bones full of snow, and ho ho ho, and yeah. So this is the stuff they want me to get now. So I'm just going to put a bead in the bottom tray on here, and you let it sit for 5 minutes. It's supposed to tack up. Alright. This is the way I do it, right? There's a way to do it, and there's not the way to do it. And this is not the way to do it that I'm doing it. Yeah. So, yeah. Now, that's all I'll use out of it. And it'll dry up. This will be a thin coat. 5 minutes is supposed to tack up. And then yeah, make sure you put it in the right way if you're going to stick it in there right away. But I'm not going to. And then you could also put it on this side too, but I thought that was more than enough, considering this doesn't have a groove. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. So I had planned on cleaning this up spotless, and then I opted not to do it. And then I was thinking that if I had a wire brush, I should have cleaned up a little more. And yeah, I don't know what the temperature is in here, but he's getting there. If my boy was down here right now, he'd be hopping at me saying, I'm melting right now, and I'm melting right now. And it should be, because I'm not too far off. There we go. Let's set this old crank over here out of the way. There we go. I get the fan on above me, put the heat down, so they shut most of this town down, but not till afternoon. Some of the outlying areas got a bunch of ice and such, and didn't like that. So it's funny because that silicone dried when it was out in the open. And this wasn't that clean anyway. It already had like a black, dark tint to it. Already. Bring you on over here so you can all see it, and then I can also see it on the video that I did that. See what I'm saying? So a little bit of dust here, but no big kabuna. So I'm just gonna blow down to them things, or just push something down through there. I've already threaded it with the shorter screws. Now I gotta put the longer ones through because I had brain damage. Because they had to come up through there. So this piece is gonna have to go in like that. See, there's that two little tabs there. These two tabs, they go by each side of that. Pump for the oil, fire oil. You know what I'm saying? Hope you guys are doing all right. Thank you, those 6 people are still watching. Thank you, those 6 people are still watching. Yeah, I know it. It's not fantastic here. Yeah, not fantastic. It's tacky, a little tacky. A little of the tackiness. Yeah. A little tacky, ticky-tacky. But, yeah, then we're just going to put the this guy back in. That guy back in. Move this one over here a little bit. Sit, there's little shoulders down in here where it has to sit, so it's kind of an idiot proof. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm only speaking about myself, not nobody else, just me. Because remember, I'm the one that put it in backwards. You know what I'm saying? I'm the idiot that put it in backwards. So if you didn't see that one, if you didn't see that episode where I confessed to putting the crank in backwards, you need to check it out. Because it's going to be up there eventually. Thought I put it up right away, but sometimes Takes me a while. Sometimes it's a long while. All right. These are different screws than the other screws. All right, so I'll bring you back. I think I'll bring you back. I got it together. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it on live on the camera. I had to do it off camera. So, and it didn't go that bad. I got the 4 bolts in, cranked them down, and so cylinders in. And then you got to be careful with this. This is one of the things that's really a stinker for everybody. This little thing that makes the pump work. Then there's a little rod there, and then you put your clutch in there. So you got to make sure this little rod lines up with the clutch thing. And if you don't, you'll be crying. You'll be crying and crying and crying. Let me show it to you though. Let me put that bushing. Let me put that bearing in there first, because really need to do that. I just lost track of it. Oh yeah, okay. You can put some grease on this. You can put whatever on this little bearing, because it's important to put something on it. And well, let's see. What do I have to put on it? Let me find something. I can't, you know. So if you're one of these kind of guy that loves orange, so you can, there's always a couple drips of that in there. Put a little bit of that. A little bit of that in there. Put that down on the shaft. All right, so she's on the shaft. This guy here, there's a little dingy, that little groove. But unfortunately, before I even do that, I'm supposed to put that other side of the clutch in there, the inner side of the clutch. And trying to figure what I do with that. Yeah. So just to not put the oil on, any oil on this, and then you slide that guy on. And there's a special special socket for that, and I don't have it. I don't even know how I got it off, but I'm trying to get it back on for you guys. But there we go. So it goes counterclockwise. Goes counterclockwise. And I wanted to pull this case apart, but I didn't do that yet. So as soon as I get this together, now the clutch will automatically tighten that up. In case you want to know that this goes clockwise. The chainsaw will go clockwise, and that'll tighten it right up. Just in case you wondered how this guy was going to get tightened up. Right? So it's going to jam it in. And there's that. Okay? And I was supposed to put that rod in a certain location, and I didn't. I did have it, but then I moved it. So you just got to put this guy around in there. I think it's up here at the top. Up here at the top, right? Yeah. I don't know what size that was. Oh yeah, she's right at the top. I got it right at the top. So I pushed this spring back, and I can see it's right in that groove right there. That's where I got it at. So that's where I need to line it up. And then I need to push this spring down so it'll go right on it. Band, I mean, sorry. I said spring, but it's not a spring, it's a band. The band for the brake. The band for the brake. And if you have an issue with it, trying to do that, and it's giving you a hard time, you can just take that whole brake assembly right out of there. Which I need to do anyways. Because I need to clean it out. Here. I should have the camera turned it down, but I don't. So let me see if I can do that without dropping you guys on the floor. Alright, so I just took that 2 screws here and then removed that whole thing. Alright. Anyways. Sorry, I gotta check to see. Yeah, in 15 minutes I'm supposed to go live. So I said I was gonna live, and then all of a sudden now that I say I'm gonna go live and I'm not live, then everybody yells at me. Alright, so there's that cover off. There's some junk in there I need to clean out. But now you can at least see I'm talking about. That rod is right down there. We line up this pin. You can always wipe that stuff out of the inside if you don't like it. Just junk and dust and dirt and everything else that gets in there. See, it's much better now. You got to remember your bearing's still on there. And somewhere's in that vicinity is where it's got to go. And the brake is giving me a hard time. That thing, I don't know if I got it. Oh, there you go. One of the things you go to do before you try to do that and try to get this in is to make sure that you didn't cock that thing. And I obviously did. All right. You can also make sure, if you break that little guy, then you'll be whining. There we go. There's 2 things that fixes that, to finish that up. There's this guy and a clip. And be careful with the clip, because let me tell you, you can probably find that little clip at in that little package that you can get at Harbor Freight. One will work, but it's not the right one, I'll tell you. And how do I know that? Because I'm sure it's a little bigger on the outside, a little smaller on the outside, or something to the effect. Because they never are the right ones. Alright, so I got little pliers here somewhere. Okay, here we go. And then be careful with that. At least keep an eye on which direction it would go if you mess it up. There we go. That's all there is to it right there. That is. And now I'm going to take and clean that garbage out of there. A little bit over there. A little bit there and there. Now, it'll all come back. That'll all show back up there again with some more wood and some, some more stuff. You can't keep that from not getting in there. Because it all does. It all comes in there. And then down in here, down in there, down around the corner. It's just, you know, just how it works. No perfect way of cleaning it out. Just clean it out the best you can. Blow it out if you like. Wash it out. I should have had this all taken apart and washed out, but I didn't. So, knock it a little bit. Bang it a little bit. There we go. All clean, right? All clean. Then you got a little bit there. You clean that all off. And some more there. Like I said, got to keep in mind that if you want to get it spotless, good deal. But probably next time you use a saw, that'll be full of junk again. Just sneaks its way in there. Sneaks. Is that a word? Sneaks? I think that's a word. Yeah, sneaks. There you go. That's a 40, I think, or 25. 25. That was a 25 bit. 25 bit for the 4 screws on the bottom. Them 4 screws there. And that puts me together to there. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty good. That's a pretty good job. Next thing is the flywheel. Coil. And yeah, then you got your oil tank here. You gotta keep in mind that I did not clean them out. That one there, you can clean out if you want. It does, as far as I know, it doesn't have a filter in it. The gas tank does have a filter in it, and I was gonna check into that. I was. There's some micro. There's some micro stuffs on that, but a little micro on it. You know, if you like to wash everything out. This filter, as far as I know, will not come out that hole. They made it just big enough that it doesn't come out that hole. Why didn't they make it come out that hole? Well, shoot. Things, companies, they made it just below the size of that hole so it doesn't get pulled out of there, right? When you're pulling on this hose, right? Because it's just a little bit bigger. So we grab a hold of it with your handy dandy pliers and you try to pull it up enough to get a new filter on it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's just long enough. And we got some micro pieces on here that I just wanted to get off. Yeah, just some micro that looks like kind of like silicone. Some or other silicone got down on our little micro siliconers. Other than that, that filter looks awesome sauce. All right, but if you find the need you find a need to replace that filter, just go right ahead. And FYI, filters from Amazon, all of what you pay for. Yeah, they're all what you pay for. All right, so we're 25 minutes into reselling that baby, reselling it. So just thought I'd let you come along with that. I know it's breaking it all up, and it's taken forever to have somebody put a saw bed together, but if you've never done one, and some of these channels will throw the bed together so quickly, and if you're not that quick a kind of guy like I am not that quick a kind of guy, you can get lost quick. You know what I'm saying? Lost quick. All right. Make sure to push that button and give me a thumb up, and see you on the next one.